Ever felt like someone close to you is slowly chipping away at your happiness, leaving you feeling drained, confused, and trapped? Toxic relationships are like quicksand. Hard to recognize at first, but the deeper you sink, the harder it is to get out. In this video, I'll walk you through 7 signs of toxic relationships you should never ignore. You'll have the tools to spot these signs, protect yourself, and take back control of your life. By the end of this video, you'll not only recognize these signs, but also understand what you can do about them, even if you feel stuck or isolated. This isn't just about spotting the red flags. It's about learning to reclaim your emotional freedom and peace of mind. Let's dive in. Sign number 1, constant criticism or belittling. A toxic person often chips away at your self-esteem through constant criticism. They don't just give constructive feedback, they attack who you are. You might hear things like, "You're too sensitive," "You'll never be good at that," or "If you're lucky anyone tolerates you." At first, it might seem like harmless teasing, but over time, it starts to erode your confidence. What many don't realize is that this behavior is a form of control. If someone can make you question your worth, they can keep you dependent on their approval. Pay attention to how you feel after interactions with someone. If you consistently feel small, ashamed, or worthless, that's a huge red flag. Sign number 2, the manipulation of guilt. Toxic people are master manipulators when it comes to guilt. They'll make you feel responsible for their happiness, or worse, their problems. You might hear phrases like, "After everything I've done for you, how can you treat me like this?" Or, "You're the only person I can count on." This isn't love or loyalty, it's emotional blackmail. When someone weaponizes guilt to get what they want, they're trying to control you. The key here is to recognize that their emotions are not your responsibility. Healthy relationships involve mutual respect, not emotional manipulation. Sign number 3, walking on eggshells. If you constantly feel like you have to tiptoe around someone to avoid upsetting them, that's a sign of toxicity. Maybe they have sudden mood swings, or they lash out unpredictably. Whatever the case, you find yourself suppressing your true thoughts and feelings just to keep the peace. This dynamic creates an unbalanced power structure where your emotional safety is sacrificed. In a healthy relationship, you should feel free to express yourself without fear of retaliation or rejection. Sign number 4, isolation from friends and family. One of the most dangerous signs of a toxic relationship is isolation. A toxic person might subtly or overtly pull you away from your loved ones. They might say, "I don't like your friends, they're bad influences," or guilt you with, "Why do you need anyone else when you have me?" This tactic is about control. The less connected you are to others, the easier it is for them to dominate your emotional world. Remember, healthy relationships encourage connection, not isolation. Sign number 5, lack of accountability. Toxic people rarely take responsibility for their actions. When confronted, they'll deflect, blame you, or play the victim. For example, if they hurt your feelings, they might say, "You're overreacting," or "I wouldn't have done that if you hadn't made me." This behavior can make you question your reality and even blame yourself for their mistakes. It's important to recognize that accountability is a cornerstone of any healthy relationship. Without it, you're left carrying the emotional burden for both of you. Sign number 6, excessive jealousy or possessiveness. At first, their jealousy might seem flattering, like they care deeply about you. But over time, it becomes suffocating. They might demand to know where you are at all times, accuse you of being unfaithful, or try to control who you talk to. This isn't about love, it's about insecurity and control. True love is rooted in trust, not surveillance. If someone can't respect your independence, it's a clear sign of toxicity. Sign number 7, emotional draining and burnout. Finally, toxic relationships leave you feeling emotionally exhausted. You might notice that after spending time with this person, you feel drained, anxious, or even depressed. Here's the hidden danger. Toxic relationships often become a cycle. They'll hurt you, apologize, and then repeat the behavior. Over time, this creates a pattern of emotional highs and lows that's hard to break free from. Recognizing this cycle is the first step toward reclaiming your energy. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. Why is it so hard to leave? Toxic relationships often create a trauma bond, a deep emotional connection formed through cycles of hurt and reconciliation. This bond can make you feel like you can't live without the other person, even if they're causing you harm. But here's the truth. That bond isn't love. It's fear and manipulation disguised as attachment. Once you see it for what it is, you can start to break free. How to break free and reclaim your power. Breaking free from a toxic relationship starts with reclaiming every aspect of your independence. Here's how to take drastic steps toward full freedom. 1. Set boundaries and stand firm. Start by clearly defining what you will and won't tolerate. Boundaries are the foundation of independence. Communicate them directly and calmly. For example, if someone criticizes you, respond with, "I won't continue this conversation if you speak to me that way." Stick to these boundaries, no matter how much pushback you receive. Remember, boundaries aren't about controlling others. They're about protecting yourself. 2. Prioritize financial independence. One of the most common ways toxic individuals maintain control is through financial dependence. Start building your financial freedom now. Learn budgeting skills and explore ways to generate income. Every dollar you earn independently is a step toward freedom. 3. Reconnect with yourself. Toxic relationships can make you lose sight of who you are and what you value. Reconnect with yourself by exploring your passions, values, and goals. Take time to journal, engage in hobbies, or spend time in nature to rediscover your identity. Therapy can also provide clarity and help you heal from the emotional impact of the relationship. When you know yourself, you'll feel more confident about your ability to move forward. 4. Create a secret exit plan. If leaving feels overwhelming, take small, practical steps to prepare your exit. Build a timeline for when and how you'll leave. This isn't about running away, it's about creating a stable, independent future. 5. Detach from their influence. Toxic individuals thrive on control, whether it's through guilt, manipulation, or intimidation. Take away their power by staying calm and neutral when they try to provoke a reaction. Practice emotional detachment by recognizing their behavior as a reflection of their issues, not yours. If possible, limit or cut off communication entirely. If you must stay in contact, enforce strict boundaries, such as only discussing essential topics. 6. Take small steps toward independence. If you've been isolated or made to feel dependent, start rebuilding connections outside the relationship. This doesn't mean you need a big support system. One trusted friend, therapist, or online community can make a world of difference. These connections can remind you that you're not alone and that you have the strength to reclaim your life. 7. Learn to say no without guilt. Toxic people often exploit your inability to say no. Practice saying no firmly and confidently, without feeling the need to explain or justify yourself. Prioritize your well-being over their demands. Remember, self-care isn't selfish, it's necessary. Every time you say no to something that drains you, you're saying yes to your freedom and growth. 8. Reconnect with your passions. Toxic relationships often take over your identity, leaving little room for your own dreams and interests. Take time to rediscover what lights you up. Whether it's a hobby, learning a new skill, or pursuing a forgotten goal, these activities help you reconnect with your sense of purpose and remind you of your worth beyond the relationship. Remember this: breaking free from a toxic relationship means stepping into your power. You are capable of creating a life where you are in control, financially, emotionally, and mentally. The fact that you're even considering these steps means you're already on the path to independence. Freedom takes work, but every small, intentional action gets you closer to a life where you're free to thrive. Healing isn't just about leaving them, it's about rediscovering yourself and your strength. So, what's one bold step you'll take today toward reclaiming your independence? Start now, because you deserve a life built on your own terms. Now that you know these 7 signs, take a moment to reflect. Is there someone in your life who fits this pattern? If so, remember, you're not alone, and you have the power to take back control. Before you go, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What's one subtle red flag you've noticed in toxic relationships that others might overlook? Share your thoughts. It might just help someone else spot a sign they didn't even realize was there. If this video resonated with you, give it a like, share it with someone who might need it, and don't forget to subscribe for more tools to build healthier relationships. Stay strong, stay kind to yourself, and I'll see you in the next one.